The stock market is more than numbers on a screen. It is a mechanism that has, over generations, reshaped the financial destinies of individuals, families, and entire communities. It is where capital meets innovation, where patience is often rewarded, and where disciplined strategy can lead to life-changing outcomes. At its essence, the market is the world's largest economic exchange, a dynamic ecosystem where investors allocate capital to ideas they believe have future value. Some succeed, many struggle, but all are bound by the immutable laws of risk and reward. That balance lies at the heart of every investment journey. For some, the story of the market is about long-term compounding. For others, it is about spotting the nascent potential before it is widely recognized. Within that contest between opportunity and uncertainty lies the core of what makes markets not only powerful but profoundly human, a place where belief, data, and time come together to determine outcomes. In today's global economy, certain industries stand at the intersection of innovation and urgency. Among these, the healthcare and biotechnology sectors have become pillars of modern growth. Healthcare today is not just about hospitals and clinics. It encompasses scientific research, therapeutic development, advanced diagnostics, and a complex pipeline of clinical innovation that spans cities from Boston to San Diego and research hubs around the world. Companies in this sphere operate laboratories in major metropolitan centers, collaborate with academic institutions, and contribute to both local economies and global health outcomes. Their work impacts consumers directly, offering hope for patients and shaping investor interest across markets. These businesses employ thousands, attract specialized talent, and often push the boundaries of what modern medicine can achieve. Their science and operations extend far beyond corporate headquarters, into communities, hospitals, clinical trial networks, and global partnerships. This is the backdrop for the story we are about to unfold. A journey into a company operating within this demanding yet vital industry. Within the healthcare and biotech landscape, some firms focus on incremental innovations, while others pursue bold scientific breakthroughs. The company at the center of our narrative belongs to the latter category, a clinical stage firm with a developing portfolio of targeted therapies. In broad terms, its business model centers around research and development. Revenues for companies like this do not always follow the predictable patterns of traditional commercial enterprises. Instead, income can be tied to the progress of clinical candidates, licensing deals, or milestones reached in collaborative agreements. Financial strength in such firms is often measured not by quarterly earnings, but by the robustness of their scientific pipeline, the depth of their research partnerships, and their ability to sustain operations through capital markets, grants, and investor support. Over recent reporting periods, market interest has fluctuated. Share performance has reflected the inherent volatility of early-stage biotech, periods of upward momentum tied to positive news, and downturns tied to broader market sentiment or interim clinical results. This dynamic speaks to a broader trend in the sector. Confidence is built, not given, and investor interest follows scientific clarity and measurable progress. Without naming the company yet, it is important to understand that its narrative is not unique in biotech, yet its trajectory offers insight into how science and markets intersect in real time. Now, we introduce the company at the heart of this documentary, Ayala Pharmaceuticals, Incarnus, Nasdaq, ALA. Ayala Pharmaceuticals stands out as a clinical stage biotechnology company dedicated to developing targeted therapies for rare and aggressive forms of cancer. In an industry crowded with contenders, this firm attracts attention because of its focus on unmet medical needs, areas where standard treatment options may be limited or non-existent. What makes this company noteworthy within the stock market landscape is not merely its share price, which has recently been trading under $1 per share, but the broader context in which it operates. As a listed Nasdaq entity, it defies the stereotype that low-priced stocks are always confined to over-the-counter markets. It occupies a space where scientific progress, regulatory milestones, and investor expectations intersect. Investors, analysts, and observers watch this company for what its pipeline might ultimately bring to patients, and how milestones achieved in clinical development can alter both perception and valuation. In the high-stakes world of biotech, success is measured in years, not weeks. Yet every step in that journey is scrutinized by those tracking developments from laboratories to the trading floor. To understand the narrative arc of Ayala Pharmaceuticals, one must step back into its origins and the challenges it has faced. The company was founded with a mission to tackle complex diseases through precision medicine. Its early growth was defined by assembling a scientific team, securing intellectual property, and initiating clinical programs. Like many clinical stage firms, it has navigated the lengthy and expensive process of trials, seeking data that can substantiate therapeutic hypotheses. Key milestones include advancing clinical candidates through designated phases of testing and engaging with regulatory bodies. These moments are not only scientific checkpoints, they are watershed events for corporate identity, investor sentiment, and strategic direction. Challenges have been numerous. Biotech firms, especially those without marketed products, must manage limited cash reserves, potential dilution from capital raises, and the emotional roller coaster of trial outcomes. Ayala's journey reflects this reality. Periods of optimism driven by scientific data, and periods of contraction tied to broader market volatility. Competitive advantages for the company lie in its specialization and focus on underserved segments of oncology. This niche focus can differentiate it from broader pharmaceutical competitors, but it also means the company's success is tightly bound to specific clinical outcomes. In terms of risks, the path forward is anything but smooth. Scientific research can yield unexpected results. Regulatory requirements are relentlessly rigorous, and capital markets are unyielding when forecasts fall short of expectations. This duality, high potential paired with high uncertainty, defines much of the biotech stock landscape. Viewed over different time horizons, short-term performance may swing with news and sentiment. Long-term potential hinges on sustained progress, data success, and ultimately, the transition from promise to approved therapeutics. Looking ahead, the healthcare industry continues to evolve under powerful global trends. Demographic shifts, aging populations, and scientific breakthroughs sustain long-term demand for novel treatments. Clinical genomics, precision oncology, and targeted molecular therapies are not passing fads. They are reshaping care standards and investor focus alike. For Ayala Pharmaceuticals, expansion plans involve progressing its treatment candidates through the clinical pipeline. Success in these steps can lead to partnerships, licensing deals, or eventual commercialization. Each of these outcomes carries implications for market perception and corporate viability. Industry expectations suggest that biotech's role in solving complex health challenges will only grow. At the same time, regulatory pathways, reimbursement structures, and competitive dynamics present a complicating backdrop for any emergent player. This future is neither guaranteed nor speculative. It is a landscape defined by disciplined progress, scientific rigor, and the patience to see incremental milestones realized, tempered by the understanding that timelines in medicine extend beyond quarterly cycles. As this story comes to a close, it is worth reflecting on what the journey of a sub-100 company like Ayala Pharmaceuticals teaches us about markets and opportunity. The stock market is a complex system where hope and evidence must coexist. Knowledge, derived from research, context, and realistic expectations, matters far more than hype or wishful thinking. Markets involve risk by design. They are not safety nets, but arenas where capital allocates toward perceived value. For companies operating at the cutting edge of science, the stakes are high and the uncertainties many. Yet within those uncertainties lies the potential for progress that can genuinely impact lives. Today's narrative does not conclude with predictions or promises. Instead, it closes with a grounded understanding of what it means to participate in markets where innovation meets patience and where disciplined research remains paramount. In the end, the stock market rewards not the loudest voices, but the most resilient missions, tempered by time, informed by data, and grounded in reality.